Hello, everyone. Excuse me a sec. I'm just moving my screens around so I can see everything. How are we all? Welcome back. Welcome back to a live stream. We missed one. We missed Thursday's live. I was happy though. It does feel weird it being so long between streams. So how are we all doing? I gather that some of us are getting buried in snow and cold weather, and I hope you're all staying safe and warm. I also gather that there are very important football games going on today in America. So hope everyone's enjoying themselves with those games. Matt is outside the stadium getting food with his son before they go in. So yeah, so you're at another sports event then, Matt. I reckon that you deliberately plan these things when I'm live streaming. Or they do, the football people do. Who knows? Who knows? Right, I'm going to go through and say hello to everyone just now. I'm hoping that you can all see and hear me. Just going to have a quick look to see if anyone said that they could see and hear me. Uh, well, anyway, tell me if you can see and hear me fine, and hopefully it will all be good. Right, so Sybil is here today. Hello, Sybil. You are supporting the Broncos today? And Natalie is supporting the Patriots. I know Matt is supporting the Seahawks. So that's three out of the four teams. Um, so Claire, welcome back, Vicky. Good morning after you puzzle friends. Australia Day today. Oh, nice. That's fun. Eh. Ruth, hello to you. Oh, I hope you're staying safe and warm. Oh, London was a good trip. Let's smash Bag B. Oh, thank you, Philip. It was a brilliant trip. I will tell you. I will tell you all about it. Um, I'll just keep going through. Got an ice storm in NC. Oh my goodness, everybody's getting covered in the ice and snow, except Australia, I would imagine. Hi, Scott. Hello, Anna. So far, I'm topping 10 inches. My goodness, Ruth. Goodness me. Morning, Suze. It'll be 38 degrees Cel here today, and so much hotter in the southern states of Oz. Stay cool. It's so crazy, isn't it? I like how opposed it is. It's 25 degrees here. Presumably that's Fahrenheit. Um, Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Hi, Guston. You're not early. I was actually a touch late. Um, I've been sorting this puzzle. I've not had a great deal of time to sort it this week. Though I did actually make a start before I left for London. So I was sort of a tiny bit organised. Hello, Asma. Hello, Concerning Blue. Hello to Clark. Most of the world don't care about this football game. Well, I'm back in Matt's team, so I care about that one. I've got a hat. Got a hat, so I have to support the Seahawks. Hi Thomas, how are you? Hello Matt. Looks like a big game today with the Seahawks. Yeah, I think it is. It's for the Super Bowl, isn't it? Arsenal play Man United tonight. Oh, right. Okay. Do you support either one of those, Thomas? I'm not really a football buff, even English football, really. How you doing, Sam? Thank you. I'm glad you can see and hear me fine. Um, Supporting the Dallas Cowboys, but they aren't playing anymore. Very poor season. Oh, sorry to hear that, Clark. I wouldn't tell people that. I'm debating whether to sleep or watch the NFL games before going back to work tomorrow. Last day of 2 weeks off. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I don't know. Watch the games? Don't know. Taking a break from sorting Bambi for the evening. All right, you're on Bambi now, are you? Eagles. But they're not still in, are they? The Eagles, aren't they out now? No, you hate football. You like cricket, right? My stepdad's a cricket fan as well. I have 291 pieces left from the 6 portals. Oh, well done. I hope I can finish by the end of the stream. Oh, yay, go Anna. Hello, Cara. You mean maybe next year, Eagles, Ruth? Oh dear. I'm gonna let you guys, I'm gonna let you Americans have the football conversation. Now I'm going to focus on the poster because at the moment I don't have any puzzle to show you yet. But I do have a poster. So this is section B of the 6 portals. So we're on the second 3 portals, the right side of the puzzle. Section A is finished. I managed to finish that last weekend. And I did like a double stream where I finished it on the first one and I had Rose with me for that one. So if you haven't caught last week's stream where I both finished the puzzle and chat to Rose, give it a watch. It was a lot of fun. And then I did another shorter stream after where I showed you the whole thing together. And happily, it fits on my board. I'm so chuffed about. I didn't think it was going to fit when I first got the puzzle, but it does. So that's going to be brilliant when I get this one done and I can show you the entire thing on my board. It pretty much just about covers it. Like it's about the same size as my board. Let's put it that way. Anyway, what we have here are this portal here, which is like a beach portal. And then we've got this one, which is like a winter portal. And then we have this one, which is a nighttime portal. It's quite Halloweeny, this one. But they're all beautiful. And you have purple, that's kind of the predominant colour here. You've got blue, which is the predominant colour here. This one is sort of white, whitish silver, I guess I would describe this portal as, in terms of the border. But again, lots of dragons, lots of mythical things flying around, lots of detail. We've got little fairies and we've got fish in this one. We've got the little Feltrani cats in this one. There's a little tiny fairy dragon down here. It's just full of lovely things. And I'll tell you the way I have approached the sorting this time around. Now, for section A, I had more time. For this one, I've been away this week, as most of you will know. So I haven't had a great deal of time to actually sort pieces for this section. I started it before I left and I managed to divide a few of the pieces into the 3 portals. I literally just had 3 piles, 1 portal each. And I still have those. But because today became the day really I was sorting before I started this live stream, I ended up with the remaining pieces just phase sorting this portal here. So I literally anything in these went back in the big pile, anything in this one went in the blue portal pile. This one stood out to me the most because of all these light greens, the bright orange and pink fish, all the bright colours in this one really stood out to me. Now, there were things that stood out to me in these two. Obviously, there's a lot of purple in here, so it was pretty obvious every purple piece I picked out was in here. Same with that, like with this, like sky bits with snowflakes on. This fir tree, very, very obvious. The cats were obvious too. The things that stood out in all 3, but this one just really, really drew my eye, and I think it's just because of all the lovely bright colours. And I mean, look at it. I want to be in that portal. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They all are, but I don't know. There was something about it. So, having done that, I then set to attempting to try and sort within the portal, but then I ran out of time. So it's quite a rough sort, and I'll show you where I'm at the start of this. So I separated all the edges, and these are the edges that I've pulled out that belong to the blue portal. So I'm going to have a little bit of the top and a little bit of the bottom. That's those. These pieces are, this is probably my most detailed sort of pile, and that is because it makes up the sand of this little beach here. It was just kind of obvious. So That's separate, and they're in my little tray because I'm probably going to start with those two piles. Then I've got three big trays with lots of pieces on. This tray is basically everything sort of from the boats down. So it's fish, it's water, it's boats, everything I could see that goes in that bit. So it's kind of like half the portal's worth of pieces here. So there is more sorting that needs done with this, but that's that pile. This board is kind of the other half, basically. It's everything from about the top of this tree and this castle up. So it's sky pieces. And I've also thrown in here pieces that make up the airship, dragons, there's some parrots in here, there's a castle. Those pieces have gone in here too. So again, needs micro sorting, but that is what that tray is. And then this one, the last tray of pieces, um, is the border, the blue border. Now, I feel like there's quite a lot of gradient going on here. It gets very bright in the middle and very dark at the top, and then at the bottom it's also very dark, but it goes a bit more green. There's sort of green hues in here. So I'm hopeful that the border of this portal won't be too tricky. I'm hopeful the colours will help me out a lot with that one. I think that one might be trickier, this purple one, when I come to it. But the blue I felt was relatively obvious. So there's micro sorting that can be done with this too, but usually I don't tend to do the borders early on. And that's it. That's the extent of the sorting that I have managed to get done for today's live stream. So there'll probably be a fair amount of sorting and a little bit of building, plenty of chatting going on today. But I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that. Right. Thomas, you hate soccer. I didn't have as much time as I was hoping, so no 4 sections in 1 month, maybe March. Well, I mean, 3 in 1 month is pretty good going, Gustin. Considering the sections of 4,000 pieces, it's pretty good going. Fingers crossed. Are we letting Vicky get away with no Toy Fair gossip? I can puzzle and deploy my anti-wheedling defenses. I can multitask. I will of course talk about the Toy Fair. I will. But it's important that we talk about the puzzle I'm building first. And it is a Ravensburger puzzle. And I was invited by Ravensburger. So, it's all linked. Hello, Casper. 45 degrees here today. Madly trying to save the garden. Oh my lord. I'm hoping at least some discussion of what I did with my kids in London. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. You've got a snowstorm today. Yeah, I think a lot of America has, Cara. Sounds horrible, Casper. Yeah. Not getting below 32 overnight. Oh my lord. So insane how extreme the temperatures are. To be honest, warmth sounds awesome to me. I've often wanted to visit Australia when it was cold here in the US. Yeah, I like it warm, I must admit. I do like the sun. Jill, hello. How you doing? Clark, heat is okay. There's barely any ozone, so you burn to a crisp in no time. Vicky, where's your hat? Oh, okay. Well, I have it here. It's next to me. Is that better? But you can't really see. Half my face is obscured when I put it on. So I took it off for the stream. But it is near me. It is near me. It's near my heart, Matt. There you go. It's got pride of place down there. Blue is the prettiest. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's such a gorgeous portal. I think they all are, but really, this one, it's so nice. For you, Matt, I'll cheer on the Seahawks just this once. The bottom half of the water portal was my favourite part of the entire puzzle. Yeah, I can see why. I can totally see why. Once I've done with these pieces, I'm gonna get those pieces out. It's a big pile that I've got there. But these pink fish and these oranges, I really think that they are going to stand out. And that is part of the reason also why I've got an A1 board today, just for today, just so I can spread the pieces out and flip them rather than having two A2 pieces that are just going to keep moving around. And then once I've started to get some of the portal together, then I'll go back to my two A2 um boards. But yes, I've got an A1 board out just for tonight. Um, Portal seems to represent a different weather for everyone in the chat. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Agreed, Gustin. I just found out that the Australian Ravensburger will not have any puzzles by Rose, and they don't plan on it. They don't. Well, they don't. They won't be selling any. They did not answer me why they won't have them either, but they don't have 4,000 or 7,000. That's so bizarre. God, they are missing a trick there, Slitherpuff. They really are. They really are. Congrats on finishing so much sorting. I'm so impressed with you being out of town. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I spent a good batch of time on it. But I mean, it helps that this puzzle is so easily sortable, though. You know, there were pieces where I'm unsure, and I'm sure I've missorted some of them, but mostly it doesn't take long. You can pick up a piece and pretty quickly figure out where it goes. So the fact that I was just phase sorting this one today, and the fact that it's relatively obvious which portal the pieces go in, it made it faster. Um, but you know, it's fine. I've had to do sorting on the streams before. It'll work out. It'll go together, whatever happens. Hello, Julie. How you doing? Bad winter for you. We're supposed to be getting a dumping of snow on Tuesday. I mean, the way the papers have it, we're going to get buried in the stuff. But they always exaggerate it, and you know, we might get a we might get a fluttering. I don't know. Maybe it'll be worse, but we're not supposed to be getting it till Tuesday. I don't think over here in the UK. Meanwhile, I got four degrees C here in Iceland. Thought, well, it's still cold. Did you get any Ravensburger freebies? You're determined, aren't you, Thomas? I just can't wait to see the 40Ks completed together in one place. Very hyped for that. I bet you are. We'll be getting tiny bits of snow that doesn't stay. I suspect that's what'll end up happening here, Gustin. All right, I'm going to start puzzling and I will talk to you about my trip to London. So, before I start, right, okay, by way of an introduction, just in case you don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, but there might be people watching that don't. I got invited to London by Charlotte, who's the PR manager at Ravensburger UK. And she invited me to go because it was the London Toy Fair um, over 3 days this week. So it was on, now then, it was on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I was invited to go on the Thursday, which was the last day. And so I was like a guest of Ravensburger, so they contributed to my travel expenses and things, and so I went. I went and I took the kids down with me, and I went to London, and I decided to stay an extra day rather than just stay for the. No, that doesn't go there. Rather than just stay for the toy fair, I decided to stay an extra day because my kids have never been to London, and I wanted to have a day there to show them around and do things because you've got to go to your capital at least once in your life. I think. I mean, I've been to London a couple of times. I couldn't live there, but I did have fun whenever I did visit. And so I said to the kids, let's go and we'll have a fun day. We'll have a fun day in London. So it was sort of a business trip, but also a leisure trip. And we we had decided to fly down because the flights were actually quite reasonable, more reasonable than the trains. And so we flew down and stayed in a hotel, obviously, and I we got there a day early, and then the next day was the toy fair, and then the next day after that we sort of did London, and then the following day we came back. So we got back yesterday, um, in the evening. The flight was in the evening, and it was a wee bit delayed actually. So it was quite late by the time we got home. I was pretty tired. We were all pretty tired, and yeah, so it was unfortunate it got delayed, but we made it, and now I'm live streaming with you lovely folk. So the toy fair, right? It was absolutely brilliant. I, it was brilliant. I had such a blast. Now then, I think I've got a little bit of the purple. Yes, I have. Right. So that is actually in the purple portal, but it's that shade of purple that's just very close to blue, and I've accidentally put it in here. So that is a miss sort, but not to worry, I will soon figure that out. So that's the top. That's the top of the blue portal. You can just see the white one there, and you can just see a tiny bit of the yellow one from, not yellow, sorry, green from the right-hand portal of section A, which I've already built. So that's the top complete. So now let's have a go at the bottom. I got to the toy. I walked it. It was walking distance from where I was staying, and I arrived at the toy fair, and um, it was big and just I don't know. There was there was so much to see, but I was very much ensconced with Ravensburger because it is a trade fair. You can't just sort of go around just filming everything. Some people, companies, want to keep some things under wraps and that kind of stuff. So, and I was there. I got there at about 12 o'clock, and that's when I was supposed to be meeting Charlotte. So I went. I found the Ravensburger stand, and I met Charlotte. I met so many lovely people, and they were all so welcoming and just so nice. And not that I expected anything different, but I I really appreciated how welcome they made me feel, and how much they wanted to share with me, and how they really wanted to listen to what I had to say. And I was passing on a lot of your demands. um and they were genuinely open and interested in everything I was saying, and it was lovely. It was really, really lovely. I felt so at home. um and obviously there were lots of puzzles, and that made me feel at home too. And yeah, and the time just flew. Like, before I knew it, hours had gone by, and it was almost the end of the toy fair kind of thing. And I was like, my gosh, have I really been here that long? And it just flew. It just flew by. But it was so good. Now, I did not leave, in answer to your question, Thomas, I did not leave with any freebies. Um, they had, it was like an enclosed stall. And so there was kind of like an entryway, with like a desk at the front. And you when you're in, you see there's like shelves around the walls of the stall. I mean, Ravensburger do brio as well, and they also make board games. They have the Lorcana trading cards. They do all sorts. Now then, I have a piece wrong here, I think. Either I have one wrong, or I've got one. What was there? Or I've got one missing. That goes there. Right, that goes there. That goes there. That goes there. And that goes there. Yay! Okay. All right, none missing. None missing. Let's just measure it up against that one. Yes, same width. So my edges are all good for the blue portal. That is good. Nothing missing there. So these pieces make up, I think, largely this little bit of beach here. Okay, so I'm going to work on these now. So they had, they had other Ravensburger stuff, not just the adult puzzles. They had some kids puzzles as well. They had some 3D puzzles, and I was, staring at them, and I was chatting with Charlotte, and she introduced me to some other Ravensburger folk, and I was chatting with them, and we went, and she brought me. It was funny because she brought me a cup of tea, and it was too hot. So we were sat at this table and I was like waiting for it to cool down. And then she was like, "Oh, I'll introduce you to some people." So then she introduced me to Cindy, who is also lovely, and she is the puzzle developer for Ravensburger UK. And she introduced me to a girl called, I think it was Hayley, and I can't remember what her job title was. I got so much information that day. Honestly, it was hard to remember it all, but her name was Haley anyway, and she was there too, and she was chatting away with me, and we went we gravitated over to the shelves, and they started talking me through these shelves of puzzles, and we were doing that for so long, my tea got completely forgotten, and it went stone cold. It's like, and I forgot, like I didn't eat lunch, but I just got so engrossed in it all that I just forgot. And it was later on. Charlotte said to me, "Do you want something to eat?" And I went, actually, yeah, that'd be nice, thank you. She brought me a tuna sandwich, because and I just didn't realize really that I was hungry. I was just so engrossed. But I didn't walk away with any freebies. But some of the puzzles on the shelves, some of them had puzzles in. But some of them were just empty boxes. I don't think they had like loads of stock at the actual fair. But I did hear the words, right, we'll send you that quite a lot. I was like, oh my Lord. Oh, oh, oh. At the end, I was chatting to Cindy, and she said, "Do you like this one?" And she's pointing at a puzzle. I said, "Yeah, I really do actually." And she said, "Oh, it's a new artist on our books." I just wondered what you thought. I said, I really like it. And it's one I'm going to show you in the video. And she went, okay, I'll tell Charlotte, and she'll get one sent to you. And I said to her, I said, I'm going to need a storage warehouse. And she's laughing. I was like, I would take them all. I really would. It doesn't stop me from getting more puzzles. So yeah, I will be getting sent some puzzles, but I didn't take any with me. But honestly, I wouldn't have been able to anyway. I was trying to travel light. The more baggage you take on a plane, the more you have to pay. And I had one piece of hold luggage, and I was aware that on the day when I was going to be going around London with the kids, my daughter, whose birthday was yesterday, she's turned 13 yesterday. Yeah. I was aware that she wanted to go shopping and may well have bought things that I had to take home in this one case we had. So I knew I wasn't going to have room to take any home. So yeah, so I think I will get sent some, but I didn't actually take any with me. So yes and no is the quick answer. um, Hang on, -7, Claire, which is super unusual for Dallas. Oh, blimey. Wait, is that degrees C or Fahrenheit? Clock. I've managed to sort my three portals in bag A during last week and have done most of the lilies and the castle done yesterday. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, so you've been working on the orange one, the autumn portal. The lilies are gorgeous, aren't they? I'm moving to Iceland. 40 plus degrees expected here today. Wait, was that a joke or are you serious? You're moving to Iceland? That's crazy. Wait, you're in Australia, right? Met Office is currently showing rain, not snow, for central Scotland on Tuesday. Oh, okay. So we're one of the small percentage of the country that's apparently not going to get buried by it. Then, I mean, I've been keeping an eye on it. It keeps changing. It was snow yesterday, and obviously now it's not. Oh well, so that's pretty standard then, really, for us. Important to know that Toy Fair is only for store/sellers, no consumers, regular people there. Yes, that's right. So it's a trade fair. So it's not like just open to the for the general public to buy tickets. Like it's for people in the industry. And it's really to this is kind of the season for toy fairs right after Christmas at the beginning of the year. And the idea is to show people, buyers, people that have shops, that kind of thing. The idea is to show them what's up and coming for the year, what's happening. And there were loads of companies there. Lego was there. Who else was there? I think Clementoni was there. I really had very little, if any, awareness of the other stalls there because I was just so ensconced with Ravensburger. But I know Gibson's was there as well. There was a Bandai Namco store, like that was right at the front. It was the first thing you saw when you walked in, and my eye was drawn to it because my kids are complete anime nuts. Like they live and breathe anime at the moment, and I could see these anime figurines, and I was like, oh gosh, I really want to go and take pictures, but you're not allowed to just kind of go up and take pictures at other people's stands. So yes, you're right, Clark. It's a trade fair. So I was invited by Ravensburger as a content creator, like as a influencer. That's what they call us. So I was there for Ravensburger to make content at the Ravensburger stand. So yeah, like I feel really, lucky to have been invited to go. Um, so and it really it was such a great experience, such a great experience. I'm here. What have I missed? Hello, Richard. Hello, how you doing? You've missed me building the edge of the blue portal, and I've just started the beach, and I've been talking about the toy fair. Um, but I haven't, I'm just sort of talking about what it was like, what the atmosphere was like, who I've met, who I've met, and I haven't really said much more than that. But I will continue. I just want to read what people are saying in the chat. Can't wait for the top secret Iceland big puzzle event that's totally happening. What? Iceland? I had such a blast. Don't stop. Yeah, that's it. I had a blast. Thanks. What are we going to talk about now? One of the things I love about these live streams is the seamless, complete change in subject. I know. I know. I always. Yay. I will send you that. Love that. We'll send you one of those. I was, it's like, oh my God. And she just kept saying it. I kept thinking, I love this, but I honestly don't. I'm going to have to build a new abode out of puzzles thing so I can store all the puzzles. You can store your puzzles here. I'll take care of them for you. Oh, well, that's very nice of you, Dan. I'll just pop by every now and again when I need one to build. Just run by Sweden. I think Vicky's going to need a crane for packages soon. I know, I know. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I actually asked her if she could send me. This was Charlotte. I asked her if she could send me just a couple of puzzles this week. Um, so that I could build a couple in the video. The thing is, when I'm doing videos that involve a lot of talking, that's fine, and I know people like that, they don't mind it, but I feel like I want to have at least some puzzle building going on in a video about puzzles. Does that make sense? Like I always kind of feel like with puzzle haul videos, that's all just talking, and that's fine. It's about puzzles, but I always feel like I kind of miss the actual building of the puzzles, in a video. So I asked her if she would send me just a couple this week because some of the puzzles that were on display are already out. Like I've seen them before. They might be new for the season, but we know about them. Some of them that were on display were out because they were bestsellers. So they'd have a little sticker on them that said bestseller. Like for example, they had the 4,000 piece Hidden World of Fairies on the shelf. And I was like, oh, I've seen that's been out for a little bit. And it had a little red sticker on it that said bestseller. So there were ones dotted about that I had seen before, and there were ones dotted about that I knew were relatively new out, but they'd been out a little bit and they'd obviously done really well. Um, so like there are ones I know she can sort of send me now, that perhaps people might not have seen. They're just kind of brand new out, but I'd like to build them for you. So I will be getting a couple this week, hopefully. She said probably Wednesday was the earliest I could get them. Because the thing with this video is I'm going to make a video about my experience and about the things I found out. Um, but I want to get it out as soon as possible. Like I am really try. I want to do it justice. I want it to be good, but I really would like to get it out as soon as I can after my trip. I only just got back yesterday, but I have actually started working on it today. I've done a little intro, and I've got a bunch of footage that I can be working on while I wait for those puzzles to come, and I'm going to try and get it out to you as soon as I possibly can. Now, it's not that I'm keeping things from you. There are things that I can tell you, but what I want to do is tell you most of it in the video. Like, I don't want to kind of spoil all the surprises, and then by the time the video comes out, it'll be like, oh yeah, well, we knew about that. She already said. so, so that's why I'm sort of keeping stum about a lot of stuff. Some things I was able to film. Um, well, most of it, the majority of it, I was able to film, but there were some puzzles where they were coming out, but either the artwork maybe hadn't been quite finished, or we weren't allowed to see the artwork because there was some kind of licensing clause that meant they couldn't show it yet. Like for example, there are a bunch of I can tell you this. There were like in those cases, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. In those cases, I wasn't allowed to show pictures of boxes or artwork or partially completed artwork, but I am allowed to verbally say is they're coming kind of thing. So I had to be quite careful what I filmed, and there's bits of my footage that I'll need to sort of chop out so I'm not accidentally showing something I shouldn't be. Um, but yeah, so like what I was about to say, for example, there are a few Marvel puzzles, Marvel themed puzzles, Marvel like Avengers and that kind of stuff. There's obviously a lot of new Marvel movies coming out. The Avengers Doomsday is coming out at the end of this year, and there are puzzles coming out kind of in keeping with that. And obviously, whatever agreement they've got with Marvel um, means that they can't show the artwork. So I wasn't allowed to show pictures of those, but I can say to you, there's some Marvel puzzles coming, you know. So there was sort of that kind of thing, and they were very clear to me what I was able to show and not show, and what I was able to talk about. So that was really nice, but it was a privilege as well being able to see some of the work in progress. Um, even though I can say something's coming, um, and I couldn't see the finished product, but I might have been able to see some sketches or something. So it was quite nice. That was quite a nice thing to see. But these are all products coming out this year. So even though, some of it was still work in progress, they'll come out this year, but it'll be later on. So we won't have long to wait, we won't have long to wait before we know. It was a joke. It's just so hot. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. I was like, wait a minute. Really? Are you really moving? Okay. Yeah. Oh gosh, it. Sounds crazy. These are like the puzzles Ravensburger will be releasing in summer fall. So yeah, so what they had was on the boxes, they had stickers, and I think there were blue stickers that said spring summer, and then there were green stickers that said autumn winter. And that was it. So you have the spring summer collection releases and you have the autumn winter collection releases, and there was a sticker on the boxes indicating which it was going to be. So a lot of the spring summer ones, if they're not already out or newly out, then they'll be coming very soon. Autumn winter, apparently we can expect to see those start in about July time. So I mean, even the autumn winter, you're talking middle of the year. um so it won't take long before we know, before we can all kind of see the final result. But I was able to see Christmas puzzles. They're doing a new advent calendar this year. I'm able to show you the design for that. It's similar to what they did last year, but a little bit different. Um, there's oh gosh, I don't want to tell you too much because I really want to show you in the video. Um, and I took what I did when I was there. I did some filming at the actual stand, and I'm just kind of in front of the camera, just sort of showing stuff that I think you'll like. Just kind of highlighting collections and that kind of stuff. But I didn't pick up every single box and kind of wave it at the camera. What I did do is take a lot of pictures. So it'll be a mixture of the video will be a mixture of me talking in here. It'll be footage that I took at the venue, and it'll be, pictures that I took of other puzzles that you'll see come in, that I perhaps didn't mention in my actual footage. And then I did a little bit of filming. I took some puzzles through they had like a small room, as part of their stand. And it was really cool, actually. The inside of it, the walls were covered in, do you know the My Haven series? I think you were right, Thomas. There really isn't going to be much puzzling going on tonight, is there? Um, the My Haven series of puzzles, by Steve Reed. There's one called The Cozy Shed, which I think might be number one. There's like 13 of them now, or 12 or something. Hmm. And the walls were the cozy shed in that room. And you could see outlines of jigsaw pieces as well. But it actually was really cozy. It was a really cozy little room to sit in. So I went in there, and I did some film. I took some puzzles through there, and I did some filming in the cozy shed. So there'll be that footage as well, and hopefully some footage of me doing a bit of puzzling for you, showing you uh, one or two of the new puzzles. And yeah, so that's my plan for the video, and I would like to get it done and out as soon as I possibly can, so you can find out everything. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to share it all with you. But yeah, that's essentially what it was. And I got to have a real good chat with the puzzle developer Cindy. She was really lovely. I was telling her um about, because obviously a big thing for me and for my channel has been, if that's hang on, sorry. Oh no, I think it does go there. The big thing for me and my channel has been having Rose on the live streams and talking to an artist, and like even like with Nathaniel Mortensen as well. I was telling her that he came and chatted on the live streams, and it's been such a it's been such a privilege, but also very eye-opening, and that focus on the artist, I think people really appreciate that. And Cindy is very artist focused. She because it's Ravensburger UK, so there's obviously a large focus on UK artists. And I was telling her Purple Cat's request about saying to Cindy that they really liked the inserts, the artist inserts that were put in the UK Ravensburger puzzles. So, like for a Amy Stewart Ravensburger puzzle, there's an artist insert sheet of paper in the box that tells you about Amy Stewart, and Ravensburger UK do that specifically, and they do that with quite a lot of their puzzles. And I was telling her that you all really like that, and it's really important how much the artist is highlighted, and that it's only really heightened our awareness of that, being able to talk to Rose the way that we have done. And she was so happy to hear that. She was like, "Do you know what? We're really trying to push for the artist inserts going into puzzles worldwide." She said, "I don't know when it'll happen, but we're like, that's an aim. That's something that we're aiming to do." And she was just so happy to hear that. And it was just, yeah, I mean, she couldn't have agreed more, to be honest. And we were talking because there were some puzzles by different artists. There was, and one of them was Elsa Black. And Elsa Black is a Scottish artist. She did the puzzle. The only puzzle I've done by her so far is called Puffinry. It's a 500 piece. She did that puzzle. So if you're not familiar with her, she did Puffinry. Um, and apparently she's really lovely and approachable, and it's entirely possible I might, that she would let me in her studio to look around. And because I picked up a puzzle, I was like, "Is this Elsa Black?" And Cindy was like, "Yeah, she's so nice. Like you could probably go and visit her studio." And so I was like, "Right, well, that sounds like a plan. We'll go and visit Elsa Black." So, so she was all about that. She was all about that, and it was really nice. It was really nice to kind of be on the same page in that sense. So yeah, and I really did. I tried to convey as much as I could um what all you guys have said to me, and what we've talked about. And she was all ears. She really was. I mean, she had a phone out at one point. She's taking notes. So, it can't be bad. It can't be bad. Right, this is a little slow going. Um, it's just kind of a little spit of land, but there's also some sort of sea unicorn here that kind of cuts across it. And this bit here, I'm not even convinced is sand. I actually think that's this cat's face, but it's a similar colour to the sand, so that's a miss sort there. That's definitely belongs in here because it's got the blue uh edging. And I know this goes in here. Ah, there, that goes under there. I think that might go that side. And there's a little tuft of grass there. And that is dolphin jumping up out of the water. So that goes around there somewhere. I don't know where that goes. Somewhere up here, I think. That's a bit more of that dolphin. Ah, there. There we go. Yay! And there's that key. You found one of the keys. That Not certain where that goes just at the moment. Oh, it goes there. Nope. Think that's that dolphin. So obviously, I think the dolphin might be in with my under the sea pieces. So maybe I'll be able to hook these up at some point later on. I'm not sure where that goes. That sits there. And that goes over here. Does that go there? Or there? No. Ah, sits there. Right. So I think there we go. Goes there. And these I'm not certain. So we've got the bits of a beach. Hello, darling. How you doing? And hello, Karen. Oh, Karen, you're in a cold bit, and Julie, you're in Queensland. We're excited about the. I'll send you that. Not sure if the postman will be excited though. Oh gosh. Well, yeah, maybe not. It's very hit and miss with my posties. Sometimes they make it up the stairs, and sometimes they just get left at the bottom, which is really quite frustrating. But anyway, I shan't get into that. Here dealing with the snowstorm. Oh, you're in the snow too. What did Ravensburger say to the 18K Rose Khan puzzle? I mentioned it. They just sort of nodded. But they don't. I think with Rose, it's more likely that it would be the puzzle developer in the US that would approach her for that. Because they have an awareness of Rose and they have an awareness of the six portals and stuff, but I don't think they had anything to do with making that um bringing that to life. So I mean they didn't even realize, actually. I told them that there was a 1,000 piece version of it coming out. I said there's a 1K version coming out. It was in response to something else that they'd said. And I said, "Oh, that's really good. Did you know there's a 1K version of of the six portals coming out?" And they went, "Oh no, that's the first I've heard of it." I said, "Well, I think it's a fairly recent development." I said, "But it was Rose that told us that." So I think um I'm sure they would be up for it, but I don't think it would be Ravensburger UK that would do it. Maybe she'll pass on the message. She did take a lot of notes, because one thing Cindy did say was that the puzzle development team, eh, as a global team, was very much a sort of team, if that makes sense. They were very much a team, even though they're all over. Um, so it may be something that she will perhaps pass along. Rose came up a few times in the conversation because we've been chatting to her so much, and we've learned so much about puzzle art and all the nuances behind it from her. So it was something that came up. The AJPA sent my daughter a free puzzle as a member, the 500 piece Magnolia Catrisoca puzzle. Have I said that right? I have the 1,000 piece. Wish they made a bigger one too. All right. That sounds nice. I'm not sure what that one looks like. Be safe. Hope you don't lose power during the live stream. I know. I know. All of you be safe. It's insane that you're all getting this stormy cold snap. Good morning, Sandra. How are you? I have her designs. I've only done puffery too. Oh, you love her design. Sorry. Yeah. Me too. As I say, I've only done puffery, but I've seen one that she's done. It's got Highland cow on it, and it's so cute. And the one I saw at the toy fair was really nice too. So and it would be nice to do a Scottish artist, living in Scotland. I'm totally up for going to visit an artist studio. I mean, how cool would that be? She lives down in on the Galloway coast, I think it is. So it'd be a wee bit of a journey, but not, not London kind of proportions. So, by all accounts, she's apparently very, very lovely and approachable, and she would do that. I think Ravensburger were up for all of us just going for a trip to visit Elsa. They probably find people like content creators to be invaluable for finding out what customers want, since creators can reach a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. I guess I didn't realize quite how much I could tell them um until I was telling them. I was like, well, yeah, no, people think this, and a lot of people say that, and y- you know, the, the conversation was really the whole time. I felt it flowed really nicely because they had things they could tell me. I had loads of questions which they answered readily, and vice versa. So it was just. Well, I hope they feel the same, but I just thought it was a great experience. A great experience. And they seemed genuinely interested in what I had to say as well, you know? Um, so yeah, I think you're right, Gustin. I think it very much was um a two-way street, beneficial for both sides. But I guess I mean they must have invited me for a reason, so um I guess that's all part of it. Invite her onto a live stream and she will need a big notebook then. Yes. Well, she didn't have her notepad. She had her phone, and she got her phone, and she's going like this. She went, "I'm not being rude. I'm actually making notes because I don't have my notebook." It's like, no, I totally get it. Because I took my notebook, but I didn't have it in my hand when we were talking, and my brain was just like, as soon as I got a minute to sit, I was just like writing for all I was worth. And I know this stuff I've forgotten. Um, but Charlotte's been really good. She said to me, um, said before I left, do you know kind of what sort of timescale for any content? And I said, well, I'll probably be aiming to work on it next week. And she said, well, I'm not in any rush. I just want to know so that if you have questions for me, I can let you know when I'm in and I can answer them, kind of thing. And she's back in the office, I think, tomorrow. So I've sent her a bunch of questions today. And I said there'll probably be more, but here's the first few, and hopefully she'll be able to answer them tomorrow. So she was very kind of aware of what I might need from her, um, which was really really nice. Um, invite her. Oh no, I've read that. I nearly forgot about the live stream. Luckily, it's public holiday here in Oz, so not at work today. Oh yeah. Um, yes, we were talking about that earlier. It's Australia Day or something. Was it Claire? Was it you that said? Oh dear, I've got something stuck to my cheek. It might be pizza. Pizza for dinner tonight. Although quite how it got stuck on my jaw, I'm not sure. Yeah, I know. It's weird doing it on a Sunday, and I keep thinking it's Saturday now. Like I'm gonna be totally off with my days. Probably for the rest of the week. Luckily, oh no, I've read that. Several Marvel puzzles releasing this year. Interesting. Yeah, they were. Now, I can't say for certain. I think most of them were 500 pieces, but there may have been one or 2,000. I can't remember. That was one of the questions I had for Charlotte, actually. Was it all 500s or was there some 1,000s in there? Because I couldn't. The problem with the ones that I wasn't allowed to film was that I just sort of got information about them, and unless I wrote it down, it went out of my head. So I don't have a visual to kind of prompt a memory, if that makes sense. So that was part of the problem with, the ones I wasn't allowed to show. And I remember there being bunch of sort of covered up boxes, but I can't remember what they said. I know some of them were 500 pieces. But I don't know if there may have been a couple of 1Ks scattered in amongst them. I wish they would talk to the Australian team slash shop. Australia's always missing out. Yeah, I do not understand why they've not got Rose Khan over there. That just seems ludicrous. Given how popular that puzzle has been, and all of her puzzles, um, worldwide, I just can't. I don't understand that at all. Feel like they're losing cash flow there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they know their audience better than me. But there's a good few Australians here in my members, so yeah, I find that really weird. Slitherpuff as well. You gave them a view from the trenches and represented almost 30,000 puzzlers. A view from the trenches. That view is very valuable to them. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Wouldn't it be wonderful if they decided to sponsor you? I know it would be amazing. It would be amazing. Um, yeah, I don't know. It would be just the ultimate, wouldn't it? I do like Ravensburger a lot, and I'm not just saying that because they've shown me a lot of support. I really do. I always did. Um, right. Okay. Sorry. I'm now reaching over to my tray full of lower half of the portal pieces. And what I'm going to do is move this up here, such as it is, the little bit of beach I've done. And I'm going to start to pull out piece because there's a jumble of pieces here. If I see any that look like they might belong near to this beach, or perhaps they belong to this dolphin, maybe. If I see any like that, I will pull them out. But what I'm going to focus on is the ones that really jump out, and that is the orange fish, these, and the pink fish. Now, these aren't all upturned, so I'm going to grab what I can see right now, and then I will turn a few over and grab some more. So there's a little bit of sorting going on in this stream. I hope you don't mind. But that's my goal with this particular little sort. And at least I'm not sorting through the full, 1,000 and some pieces. I had already separated these out, so although there's a lot of them, hopefully it will not take me too long. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. And as I say, if I see any that I think belong around here, like this, for example, um, well, it goes around there somewhere. Oh, it's the dolphin. There we go. Oh, so that attaches that, so that's perfect. So if I see ones that go around here, I'll also attempt to pop those in as well. That definitely goes around here. I think that's around there somewhere as well. Because the water here is this water, the boats are reflected. This water is very blue, and there's some white in it where there's like waves. Everything below the waterline is more green. So if I see a lot of just sort of turquoise blue, I know it's going to go here and I can maybe start to build down. Um, so I'll just try and do that as I'm going along. And yeah, I'll just keep it going from there. I'm trying to think what else I have to actually, right, okay, so I have a question. Because it was the London Toy Fair, so the UK Ravensburger team was there. Obviously, there were lots of artists represented, but a lot of them were British. And there's one thing which I'm going to talk more about in the video, so I won't talk a lot about it here. Um, I am going to ask a question though, which might get you thinking. So, have have you all heard of a TV series, TV program called well, I don't know what the actual series is called, but it's about Diddley Squat Farm. Can anyone tell me if they have heard of that? Now, I would not be surprised if um some of you haven't. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you had either. So it involves a guy called Jeremy Clarkson, who's a British guy, and I'm curious to know how many of you have heard of it. Diddley Squat Farm. Let me know. Let me know. This is part of my research for the video. um, right, that belongs up there. So there's a little bit of land up here behind these boats, and it's kind of yellow, and I've got a piece there. So I'll put that up there, but I don't know if I'll get much of that together. And I will check shortly and see how many people have heard of Diddley Squat Farm. And if you have heard of it, do you like it? Well, like, what do you think of it? Just me hypothesizing. Did Outback Puzzler have to import six portals? Oh, good question. Yeah. Yeah, she's Australian, isn't she? If you're sponsored by Ravensburger, would you need to cut back on the educas? Oh, I might not be able to accept a sponsorship till after Puzzle Camp, at the very least. Needless to say, I didn't mention Puzzle Camp too. I'm doing this great thing, but I'm not doing a Ravensburger. Sorry. Sorry. um, Yeah, I mean that is the drawback, I guess, with a sponsor like that. I suppose it's similar to like Donna Louise. She's sponsored by Peace Relax, and I know that they give her freedom to do other puzzles, but a lot of her content has to be Peace Relax focused, which I mean, I know she enjoys Peace Relax, so that suits her fine, but it does kind of tie you down um to one brand. So there is that. I mean, I haven't received a sponsor from Ravensburger. Just to point that out right now. This isn't kind of leading to me saying, "Oh, and this happened." Like, I haven't. But to have the backing of a company like that really would be, um, well, it'd be an honor. I don't know. I feel like it would be anyway. Um, right, I'm gonna stop and have a sip of my Coca-Cola and see what the answers are. Hello all, sorry I'm late. Life interfered. Oh no! But hello, Dexter. I'm glad you're here. So yes, Thomas, you've heard of it. Bergdis has heard of it. You haven't, Dexter. You have, Jill. So British people have heard of it. Bergdis, you have, and you're in Iceland, right? Clarkson's Farm. Yep, yep. Scott, you're UK, not in Dallas, Texas. Lol. I've heard the name. Jeremy Clarkson. Yep. No. Oh, you've not heard of it, Sam. It's on Amazon Prime. Oh, is it on Amazon Prime? I didn't know that. I have. I saw a few shorts about piglets. Okay, so some Australians have heard of it. Claire hasn't. With Caleb, his farmer. Oh right. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Right. I'll be honest with you. Right. I knew there was a program about Jeremy Clarkson and his farm. and I've heard it's quite good, and I've actually been recommended to watch it. Um, but I didn't know it was called Diddley Squat Farm. And I haven't watched it yet. Um, I priced the cost of 6 portals and the shipping cost to Australia. It is $198 through Amazon with free shipping to Australia. I don't know what that is. So that's Australian dollars. I don't know what that is in pounds. So I can't honestly say how good or bad that is as a cost. I don't, I don't think that sounds too bad, is it? I know Clarkson's Farm, but I've never watched it. Educa and Ravensburger have worked together in the past. Surely it'd be fine. Have they? Have they really worked together? When have they worked together? Did they take the loose fit of an Educa and the blue dust of a Ravensburger and merge it together into a dusty, loose fitting hybrid? Sorry. I don't know why I found that really funny. Sounds awful, doesn't it? Dusty, loose fitting hybrid. Budget. You get some dust off an Educa. I'm intrigued by that. I didn't know they'd worked together in the past. Watch season one, but not the rest. I will, though. It is very good. Oh, so you enjoy it? I've heard it's good. I've actually been to its farm shop, but never watched the program. Um, Being their go-to influencer is the first step to getting sponsored. Well, we'll just see what happens, I guess. I'm not gonna have any expectations. Karen Puzzles has Ravensburger sponsorship for some events, but not for all videos from what I've seen. Yeah, no, I think so. In the case of Donna Louise, Peace Relax sponsors her channel, and they'll pay for her to go to some events, I believe. But she's got like a channel sponsor. As far as I know, well, I don't really know the ins and outs of the situation with Karen Puzzles, but I don't get the sense they sponsor her entire channel. I think that's more yeah, a speed puzzle competition kind of a thing. But I mean, there's also the link there with her own puzzles. I mean, they've published a line of Karen puzzles as well. Um, so yeah, I think you might be right, Casper, on that. $161.86 in Amazon AU I paid for portals. Oh, okay. Wow, it's gone up to 198. Okay, so it's gone up. Right. I grew up on Top Gear and love cars. So are you a Clarkson fan? Like, do you watch The Farm as well? Because I mean, I don't think The Farm has anything to do with cars. Um, Fugo, Australia is selling 6 portals for 239. Their shipping cost is astronomical. Oh my gosh. Called Clarkson's Farm on US Amazon Prime. Right, okay. So maybe Clarkson's Farm's the name of the show. Mm. But so okay. I'll tell you the reason I'm asking. They're bringing some puzzles out based on Diddley Squat Farm. And I didn't know because I'd never seen it. I didn't know what that was. And they said, "Oh, you know Clarkson's farm," and I went, "Oh, oh, right, Jeremy Clarkson." And they said, "Yeah," and they were telling me about it. Now, this was one of the things where there were there was a bit with sketches. There was a round puzzle, and there was a rectangular puzzle, and there was another rectangular puzzle that was large pieces. And there was sketches, not in color, just sketches. They weren't finalized. I don't think they'd even finalized who the artist was going to be yet, but it is a little collection of puzzles that's coming, and it's called Diddly Squat Farm. And that's some things I couldn't show. I wasn't able to show it on the camera, but I was able to look and see the idea behind it. And I can tell you that, they will be coming. But I was interested to ask ahead of the video because I honestly didn't know how widespread the Clarkson's Farm program is. I mean, I know Jeremy Clarkson's well known. He's a British guy, but he's well known worldwide for doing Top Gear and things. And so I wasn't sure how prevalent the Clarkson's Farm thing was. So that's why I asked. That's why I asked. Um, and they look like again. I'll probably watch some episodes of it. And as I say, I actually a while ago, long before I went to London, it was recommended to me to watch it. Apparently, it's very good. Um, but the puzzles look like they're going to be good as well from the little I saw. And so yeah, I'll probably give it a watch and look out for that because I just think that looks really interesting. But I wasn't sure. I was because obviously it's quite a UK thing, so I wasn't sure if it was again a bit more widespread than I realised. Half it to get a rough English pounds. Okay, it's about 100 quid then. I don't think that's too bad for that puzzle. Might be a little more than RRP, but if they're not selling it in Australia and you're getting it free postage from Amazon, I don't think that's too bad. Providing they send it in a box though, and not a bag. The 12K they released in 1985 was a co-production between the two companies. Oh, well there you go. I did not know that. It's of everyone's favourite castle, is it now? Well, funnily enough, I did not see Neuschwanstein in any of the images of Ravensburger. I don't know. Maybe there was one hidden among them, but I didn't see one. Gosh, you've got an encyclopedic knowledge of Ravensburger, Dustin. I got my six portals from Amazon, and I believe it came from overseas. Yeah, yeah. Karen has Ravensburger sponsor specific videos, like how the lamp company sponsors Vicky videos. Yeah, serious readers forgot the name temporarily. Seriously, Gustin? Uh, sorry. Sorry. Couldn't help it. Um, hmm, 51 pence to $1. Okay, so it is about half. Not watched the show yet. We have Clarkson's Farm Show on television here in my area of Queensland. I just looked, it's on season 5, so it must be quite popular. If you liked him on Top Gear, you would like this as well. Yeah, his character shows, he's got a pretty distinctive character, hasn't he? I would imagine that comes through like it did on Top Gear. I think Neuschwanstein is something Ravensburger Germany likes to make images of more. UK has its own castles. Well, we do. This is true. This is true. Sorry, but I need to leave. See you tomorrow. Yes, yes, I'll be back tomorrow. Oh gosh. Do you know what I thought then? I thought it's Sunday tomorrow, and then I was like, no, no, wait, it's not. It's Sunday today. Yes, I'll be back tomorrow, Sybil. I'll see you later on. How could they not have my favourite castle? I don't know. I don't know. Like, well, like I said, maybe they were just in favour of our own castles. Who knows? Who knows that? Because that goes there. Right. I was looking for pink and orange fish. Oh gosh, I really hope you'll don't mind that I am doing more talking than puzzling this time around. It's nice that you're excited to hear um about the London trip though, because I had such a fun time, and I haven't really talked about um That's a Sky piece. I don't know why that's in there. I haven't really talked about what I did with the kids. So I'll move on to that now. So basically, I decided. So it was on. We went down on the Wednesday. The toy fair was on the Thursday, and we decided to stay an extra day. So we had the Friday to try and soak up as much as we possibly could of London. And I know Freya wanted to do some shopping, but what I wanted to do was try and give them a bit of a flavour of London that you only are going to get in London, if that makes sense. Like shops are everywhere, and I know London has some big cool shops, um, but you can't see a lot of London's stuff in other parts of the world. So in other cities. So I thought, right, what could we do? And I was trying to sort of talk to them about it, and but they didn't really have a clue what their options were. So I said, I tell you what, I think you would really enjoy Madame Tussauds. So I and I really wanted, and I thought they would enjoy to go on the London Eye. Um, so the London Eye is, in case you don't know, um, a giant Ferris wheel. Like it's a really big Ferris wheel, and it stands on the bank of the River Thames, sort of diagonally opposite Big Ben. And it has like pods, and you go on them, and you go around really slowly. And the idea is you see the sights of London from up high. And I'd never been on the London Eye. In fact, I don't think the London Eye was even there the last time I was in London. So I thought it'd be cool to go up the London Eye. I fancied going and giving it a look. I had been to Madame Tussauds before, so I knew that the kids were going to enjoy that. But I haven't been on the London Eye, so I said, right, we'll do that and we'll do that. And you have to book like a time slot. So the way I sort of roughly planned it was we went to Madame Tussauds in the morning, then we went shopping, and then we went to the London Eye in the evening because I was thinking could do one after the other, but Jasper said I'd really love to go up the London Eye at night, and I was like, well, that's actually a really good idea, because then it would all be lit up. So that's roughly how we planned it. Now, the way we got round was we literally just hopped on and off underground tube trains. And I mean, I had no clue what went where. But the people at the stations were just so good. Like I was able to just walk up to a staff member and say, "We need to get to Baker Street," which was the closest station to Madame Tussauds, and they went, "You want this line, platform, whatever," and they just said it. They just knew. So it was just so easy. So yeah, so that's what we did. We went to Madame Tussauds, and the kids loved it. But Madame Tussauds again, in case you don't know, it's a famous waxwork museum, I guess you could call it. They've got waxworks of just loads of famous people, but then the sculptors actually, this I think most of the time they sculpt them from like life. The actors or singers or whoever it happens to be will go and um they'll sculpt them. I'm sure I saw a program on it years ago. Some some of the sculptures are, of dead people, so obviously they're not from life. But but yeah, so like we walked in, and they take a picture of you, and the first thing we saw was the Rock. So you can just go up and have a picture taken beside them. And then there was Leonardo DiCaprio, and then you go through and there's a bunch more people, and there's just so many of them, and there were like famous singers and bands, and there's a whole Chamber of Horrors bit where you go down the stairs and it's all kind of dark, and it was like all these sort of British infamous British sort of criminals, murderers and things like that. So it was quite eerie and spooky. Um and then there was like a Marvel Hall of Heroes, so there was a big Groot, and there was a Spider-Man and all of that stuff. And it was just brilliant. The kids had a blast, and I loved it too because it's been several years since I've been. Um so I had a lot of fun with that as well. And yeah, so that's what we did, and then we hopped on the tube to Oxford Circus, and we went shopping at up Oxford Street in a bunch of shops around there. And then it's just time just flew, and before we knew it, we had to kind of rush to get to the London Eye. So I think in hindsight, we maybe were a bit ambitious, tried to cram a lot in, but it was good. It was good. Like our legs were hurting at the end of it. We did a lot of walking. But I think we managed to see as much as was reasonable in one day, you know. And there's so much to do in London, so much you can see. So yeah, so then we went to the London Eye and we got on, and I took loads of pictures. I haven't actually posted any pictures of the London Eye yet. I posted a few of Madame Tussauds, and I've got loads more from there. I had to put a picture up of David Attenborough. I was like, oh, I need to get one with David Attenborough. I can tell everybody that he told me the proper way to say sloth. And actually, that was one of the most uncanny likenesses. Like, obviously, they all look like the person, but some of them are just incredible. Like, they just look so real. It's quite spooky at times. I reckon Jasper was a bit spooked by them. I got a picture of him and Freya stood next to Ariana Grande, and Jasper's like a good foot away from her, just like looking at her as if she's about to attack him. I was like, "Why did you want a photo with her? You look scared." He was like, "Well, they were a bit scary." I was like, "Yeah, I know what you mean." They are. I mean, they're crazy good. Right. So I think I've got most of these fish, and there might be more. I'm trying to move them gently so they don't all get flipped over. But I think I've got most of them. Oh, 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 oh. That's a cat ear. This orange on those Feltrini cats. I think that's maybe where the mix-ups come in, because I've just assumed it was a fish or something. Because a lot of the brighter colours are in this portal. Right. Okay, let's see if we can get some fish put together. Um, I'm currently doing three things at once, working slowly through the starry edges of Snow White, listening to Vicky, and keeping an eye on the Patriots Broncos game. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good multitasking. The London Eye opened March the 9th, 2000. Yeah. So I think I went before that. It's been a long time since I've been to London. I spent 2 weekends around Waterloo, so I have seen it, but not been on it. Clearly, David is not as famous in the US as the UK. Really? You know about David Attenborough over there, though. They didn't ask to sculpt you, knowing about your YouTube thing. No, I don't think they knew what they missed. Chance of a lifetime. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I think that would be terrible, immortalizing me in a waxwork. Oh dear. Gosh, I wonder if a YouTuber would ever be. a waxwork figure. Like, I don't know. Would anybody really want to have a picture with Mr. Beast? I don't know, would they? That's good. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thought. Um, but yeah, no, it was so much fun there. There were some people I just didn't even know who they were. I was like, Freya was like, "Can I get a picture with this person?" I was like, "Yep, who is it?" "It's Harry Styles." "Okay, sure thing." If you want, oh, yeah, he's pretty famous. Um, David Attenborough, isn't he? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overestimating his fame. But he's got a waxwork at Madame Tussauds. I got a few pictures. I will put some more up, and I'll put some up of pictures that I took from the London Eye because that was pretty incredible. Ah, all right, we're getting a nice pink fish together here. I think it's this one, this big one. They're cute, cute wee fish. This one's a little bit smaller. This one at the front. All right, I think they're actually part of the orange one. No, no. Yes. Yay. Okay. And that is there. Oh, well, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I got quite a lot in those. So there's two pink fish. And I've got a bunch of these water pieces. I don't know if I can get any together. Well then, there. Hmm. That looks like it goes near the sand because it's got like yellow on it. There we go. I don't know if that's a bit of the. I think that might be a bit of the wave rather than the sand. That goes there. Mm, all right. Well, there's a few pieces together there. I'm not. Oh, I've got a bunch here too. I missed those. There. Nope. Wait, is it there? No, it does not. What's there? Oh, there we go. Well, that attaches there. Goes in there. And I've got some at the top. Looks like a parrot or something, and then that unicorn creature thing goes in there. Might need to ask Rose what the name of this unicorn mermaid type thing. I have to ask her what she calls those. Hmm. Ah, well, what is there? Mm, these colours are gorgeous. I love the colour of this water. It just makes me want to swim in it. Mm, I don't know. That one goes there. Yeah, so I'm starting to hit the cross section bit where top of the water meets under the water, if that makes sense. So a lot more of this has come together than I expected, this particular bit. But that's good. Just there. Right, that's the underneath of that dolphin. There it goes. Oh, that goes in there. Maybe oh, it might go that way. No, it doesn't. It's around here somewhere. And then, sorry, I've gone into a bit of concentration mode here. And I'm just trying to figure out what's what. There we go. That, I think, must go up here. Because that looks like a reflection of some boats or something. I think that's an under the water piece. Goes in there. And I think that might go up here too. Right. Okay, so that's tidied those up a bit. Let's have a go at these orange fish now. We've got 3 orange fish. So hopefully I will have all 3 by the time I get through all these pieces. Some of them have quite pink coloured tails though. Okay. Mm. And some areas are really quite dark, almost red. It tends to be the faces, the heads. that are quite dark. Hmm, does that feel it? No, it doesn't. Nah, it's there though. The fins have a very definite texture, and the tails that's different to the body. Um, there. Hmm. Right. Okay, I feel like this goes. Ah, yeah, I thought it went together somehow. I just couldn't quite figure out how. There. So we've got the tail of this one coming together quite nicely. Nope. Yeah. Uh, ah, yes. And you look obvious, so where are you? There. No, not there. Maybe you belong up here somewhere. I don't know. Um, where's that bit? Can't see it. Can't see it. Oh wait, I can see it. There it is. Found it. It's amazing. David Attenborough is very well known in Oz. One of his wildlife docs is showing on free to air at the moment, and such a distinctive voice. Yeah, absolutely. It was his voice that I based my wee cat documentary on. Do you remember in the Magical Dragon Forest video that I did where the cat jumped on the table and I went all David Attenborough? That's what I based the voice on when I did that. Roads are super icy in Dallas. No one knows how to drive on snow and ice. It is the case that even if you know how to drive on snow and ice, others may still run into you. Yeah, it's dodgy, isn't it? I'm just slowly working on my 3K Sydney. Sounds good. How's it coming along? The Sydney Opera House and the Harbour Bridge were very difficult to finish in the Around the World puzzle. I'm glad they weren't 3,000 pieces in the 6,000 piece section. Clark, I know that feeling. We get snow very occasionally, once every 10 to 20 years, and roads close. Yeah, it's not necessarily that hard so far, but working in sections is slowing me down. Yeah, I think I have the Opera House as one of my 18K puzzles. It's the Skylines of the World one. Oh, yes, I know the one you mean. That's also the single 18K that I, with confidence, can say is nobody's favourite 18K. I was at the beach yesterday, a bit windy, but a lovely day otherwise. But it wouldn't be a good time for swimming at the beach where Vicky is. Oh no. Yeah, you'd get quite cold. I nearly worded it differently there, but I didn't. You'd get chilly. Around the World has white in the sky, so sometimes not sorted into the right pile to finish Sydney. Yes, I gathered that with that puzzle. Some of the white buildings can be easily confused with the sky, incorrectly sorted into the sky pile. 5 months and 1 week to puzzle camp. Thank you for the reminder. 160 days, so only 4,200 puzzle pieces per month to sort out of 21,000 pieces. Yeah. I I second those emoji, Sam. Save it all for the last week before leaving, and in a rush, sort 21,000 pieces in like 3 days. Sounds like a plan. That's probably what will end up happening in my house anyway. Oh Lord. Right, okay. So I've got this fish. That's that one. And then this one is that fish. So it needs a head. There we are. That's that one. And then this fish doesn't sort of really have a head. It's kind of got its back to us. How rude. It's swimming away. Now then, hang on. Will it go there? No, it doesn't. Ah, there. And then that one goes there. There we go. Don't think I can attach any of them yet, but it goes roughly like that. And then I'm just going to put that up there. That one goes sort of there. And that one goes sort of there. In relation to each other, that's how the fish go. Not too bad. Not too bad for a semi-successful sort. Question is, what do I pull out next? So, I'm just going to see what jumps out at me, I think. Oh, got a bit stuck there. I mean, I do have some boats in here. There's some colourful sailboats in this. And I do have, there's more of these. So I'll maybe just pull a few of these out and see if I can build this up any more. Um, right, that's a sail. Uh, that's a boat. That's a sail. That's a sail. That's a boat. That's a sail. That's a sail. That's a sail. Okay, I'm finding lots of sails. They go together. I might as well grab what jumps out at me. I think that's probably the easiest way of going about this. That's one of the sails. I think that might be a boat. Mm. And I'm sort of focusing on the turquoise colours. Um, because a lot of those pieces go in here. That's one of the sails. That's a boat. Uh, Not sure about that one. There are some turquoisey greens under the water, so I might not have them all sorted right, but I mean, I'll soon find out if I'm wrong. Um, okay. Okay. Still hunting. There we go. That attaches that. Oh, and that goes there. Wait, does that go there? Aha! Yay! Okay, that's good. Boat, boat, boat. I mean, the nice thing about this pile is even though there's a lot of pieces, it's just easy to pick out specific bits I'm looking for. Like it's pretty easy to spot a boat, you know? Right, now that is the nose or face of that unicorn mermaid thing. Mer unicorn. Mercorn. What do we call it? What do you call them? Hmm, I think I found another couple of fish pieces. Mm, right. eh, Okay. That's quite nice for me because it's incorporating a bit of the shuffle method. And you know, I like to shuffle. Shuffle my pieces around. That's a boat, I think. That's one of the fish tails. Finding a few more of those. That's a boat. Okay. I'm gonna do these first. Um, 'Cause I think. Hmm. Oh, see, I thought that was one of the fish. Maybe not. Pretty sure these are though, because they're very sort of purple. There we go. That one I'm not so sure. Unfortunately, I think around the world might have 8K or so sky pieces, so we'll figure that out. Yes, we'll get there. 12 repeat cuts in the sky for around the world. Thomas only has two in his puzzle, if I understand correctly. Looking good, Vicky. Love the fishes. I know, aren't they lovely? So bright. I'm working on the sky of my puzzle, and the only way to differentiate the shades of blue is to actually stand up and look down to the puzzle board. And even then, it's extremely difficult. Oh dear. That sounds tough. If I had to choose a favourite portal, it would be the blue one. Yeah, I think a few people are of that opinion, Sandra, and I'm inclined to agree. How's the P-shaped variety on around the world? Does it have plenty of pieces that aren't standard two in, two outs? I believe so. I believe it's much more varied than wildlife, Gustin. I have to say good night, everyone, as I have an early start in the morning. Good night, Jill. Thanks for being with us. And sweet dreams. Looking for my Discord post. Unfortunately. Oh, Slitherpuff, thank you. Thank you so much. My depression has been very bad lately, and your videos have helped me so much. Thank you for being a brilliant light in a dark world. Oh, I'm so sorry you've been feeling down. I'm I'm glad that I can make you feel better. And thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I I was just reading starting to read something there, and it kind of popped up um out of my line of sight. So where was I? Unfortunately, I have to pop out this morning to go help my mum. We'll try to pop back in. If not, see you all next live. Puzzle is looking brilliant. I think this section was one of my favourite ones. Yeah, a lot of people like this section, don't they? Yeah, I can see why. Totally can. I'm enjoying it. I'm really loving it. But thank you so much, Slitherpuff. I really appreciate that. Unimaid, Sea Unicorn. Yeah, Unimaid. I don't know. It doesn't sound very mythical, does it? Unimaid. Oh dear. See you later, Zeus. Listen, around the world is about 50% standard shape. However, there is definitely a direction to the pieces, so this can be sorted into two piles. Pieces going vertical along it. Yes. You had that with uh what's it called? Wildlife as well. You could sort them by align the way they were aligned. But there are like it's not just standards and wavies though, is it? There are like other shapes. Am I right in thinking that? Around the world is about 25% to hang on. Around the world is about 25% two in, two out adjacent. Okay, the other 25% are one out and three out. No, four out, four in. Right, okay. The bigger issue for me is it is not fully grid cut. It is a strip ribbon cut. Yes, I can work with this. Realistically, I'd repeat cut it either way, but variety makes it easier. Yeah, definitely. There are there are two wavies and what I would call two random cut pieces in every repeat, so it's exactly 42,000 pieces. Yes, that yeah, I know what you mean. They've got I think it's the same cut as Enter in the Bedroom, and they've got that feature in Enter in the Bedroom. I practically have a map on my wall, so that might help. The two random cut pieces are three in and two out in each repeat. Right. Okay. Yeah, I've got you. Oh, oh dear. It's gonna be fun, isn't it? Mm. Right. Okay. Let's have a look at these. I'm going to try and fill out a few more of these pieces. I might even have some of these in the sky pile. Um, Possibly because these are they're sort of like a sky blue. That's got a bit of boat on it, I think. I think that might have as well. And potentially that. Uh, right. Aha. Okay. So that is the underwater bit of the Unimaid. Unimaid. Uh, right. Okay. That goes the other way, I think. There's a shoal of blue fish down under the wave here, and that's what I've got some pieces of here. That looks like the border. So that's under the water, I think, here. Now then, this fish is actually quite near. In fact, I've got a little bit there. So then there's like there's sunbeams that shine through the water. You can just see one of them there. Um, so I've sort of inadvertently managed to build up this bit. We'll start to at least. Right. Okay. Well, I've got some of that edge there. So that was handy. Hmm. Still can't attach it though. Maybe it goes around about there. Got a crab here. Where's the crab? Oh, that's under the water. Right. Okay, so I was wrong with that one. That's clearly a bit of sunbeam there. That attaches there. And I think that's further over. So this one goes there. Right. I'm just going to see if I can ooh, fill in a few more gaps here because I'm building up an area that's coming together more quickly than I thought it would. And it would be good if I could fill in a wee bit more, particularly of these transition pieces where it goes from surface water to under the water. And then I can perhaps attach some areas. Um, oh, that's a bit of the boat. That would be good if I could attach this to this. Maybe. Blue. That's a bit of boat, I think. A little bit of fish. Boat. Mm, again, I think. Oh, it might actually go that side. You can actually see some border in those pieces. Some of them I actually sorted into this pile rather than the border pile, but I may have some in the border pile pieces as well. Well, this pile's going down. I mean, it's going down. That's good, right? Okay. I keep accidentally getting bits to the bottom. Just need to make sure I'm not um dropping any. Right. So there. How about that one? Oh, goes there. Very close to attaching. There we go. It's attached. Yay! Okay, it's that one. Right. This is the blue fish. Ah, it goes there. Here we are. Attaches that one. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. There. So there's a good chunk together there. It's pretty good, I think. I think I'd better get some of these boat ones together though. So here are the boats. If you can see that. There's a blue one there. Um, a sort of a yellow one there. This one's blue with like sea creature design on it, and then there's a purple one, and there's water all around. Some of it's reflection though, which kind of can throw me a bit sometimes. So let's pull this down because the boats are going to go up at the top. Uh, right, so that blue one's coming. Okay, and some of this is attaching to there, so that's good. That's the yellow sail. Goes right above this bird that's flying up. Right, and that belongs there. So we've got the beginnings of that sail. That's the one with the patterns, the little sea creatures and things on. Just further up. Hmm. I think some of this is just like the water in between the boats. There we go. Yeah, that's what's thrown me off because I've thought this was this water, but it's not. It's the water up here. Um, and that's the edge of that bird. I think that might go over here somewhere. Now then. No. Oh, I don't know about that. Might be a reflection. And the reflections throw me off. It's quite confusing sometimes. Right. That goes there-ish. That belongs there. Well, it was there. That's a bit further up that one. That is a reflection, I think. Ha. Aha. Maybe that goes there. That goes there. And that one. There we go. Wait a minute. You go there. Do you fit in there? Yes, you do. Right. That one I'm not so sure about. Wait. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's because it's got some bird in it and some reflection. So they're not always super obvious where these go. Here we go. And that's clearly a reflection, but I can't quite see where it belongs yet. Wait, does that go that way? Maybe that way? I don't know, I don't know. There, that goes there. Here we go. Oh, not doing too badly, considering I only really just half sorted it. I would definitely not leave it to the end if you want to finish it in 2 weeks. Can't wait for YouTube comments to call repeat cut method cheating. Let them call it cheating. Super Bowl, here we go, Patriots. Oh, did they win? Did the Patriots win? We finished 6 portals. Yay! Well done, Anna. Good job. That's brilliant. I never saw these kinds of comments on John's videos. I think just doing 42k mixed is super impressive. Yeah, it's funny what people would call cheating. In the case of large piece counts. It's an odd choice of word, really, to me, because it suggests some kind of rule book. Like that some kind of rule is being broken. But, there are no rules, so it makes no sense. Anyway, I could go on about that for a long time. Um, that's brilliant, Anna. Well done. Hello, Mario. Hi, I'm from Norway and only do puzzles from Timu. They have numbers on the back, and I love them, but love watching you puzzle. So you like the numbers on the back? Do you find them easier to do that way? Um, but I'm glad you enjoy watching me puzzle. Thank you so much. I actually printed out. I actually printed out basically A1 size posters of each section. I've already sent 3 to Vicky. I know they're absolutely brilliant. They're brilliant. I've got them. Oh, they're down there. They're with the life puzzle, which excuse me, sorry, the 3K life puzzle, which I still haven't finished taping. That's awesome, Clark. Yeah, they're going to be really handy. By the way, my name is Rose. Okay, I will try and remember that. I'll try and remember that. Your name's Rose. Welcome to you, and thanks for joining the live stream. I bet that everyone there in Norway would laugh about how everything shuts down in Dallas, Texas, USA for a tiny bit of ice and snow. She's so quick. I don't think it's going too badly, Cara. Thank you. Patriots did win. So excited. Oh, well, congrats for your team. I'm from Norway and only do puzzles from Timo. Timo. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoy watching me puzzle. And you're welcome, Rose. Rose. Anna, sorry. You're welcome, Anna. Well, that's great that you finished. How do you feel? What are you going to do with it now? Like, do you have a plan for what you're going to do with the 6 portals? Right. Now then. Oh, that goes there, and I have that in the wrong place. Must go there then. Ah, okay. Yay, right. So that's in this one. I can't tell what I've got. I think that might go there. Sure about that. I've got some with this purple sail. Yes, that goes there. And that one, oh, that's further up. And what you've got in the background there is a tree trunk, but it's like pink. This one feels like it goes around here somewhere. I'm just not seeing where it goes. It looks like there's a reflection or something there. So I'm not certain about that piece. That's one of these wavy bits. I'm going to put them there because I know that belongs to that tree. Like there's a bit of that. I think that's part of the tree. It's like this tree here. It's a really windy kind of curvy trunk with loads of windy curvy branches, and it's pink. So that's one of them. I don't know if I can attach it yet. Definitely a bit of that tree. Fairly certain that is as well. Yes, it is. Um, and I think that might be as well. What to tell? There we go. Then we've got, what else do we have? Just gonna keep looking away, trying to spot any and put them in. Although I'm 23 minutes past 11. I can't believe that. That's gone really fast. But time flies when you're having fun and chatting about trips and things. I'm pleased though. I've got a good bit together, more than I thought I would. A lot more than I thought I would, so that's good. And I think if I can try and sort a little more, perhaps just do a wee bit more micro sorting for the next one, that would be really handy. Which depends if I can fit it in. I've got so much to do. Lots of videos to make. I think that's a cat ear. Yes, it is. So, a few missorted cat ears. Now then, recognise that. I think that's part of that tree. Up here, possibly. Maybe, I don't know now. There's some seaweed as well that's fairly distinctive. There's like purple seaweed. So hopefully I can perhaps pick those out. And manage to get them in. Assuming I've not mixed them up with, there's another bit of that tree. Assuming I've not mixed the purple up with the purple portal. Can't tell if that's that tree or not. I'm gonna pull it out. Okay, no. Right. Well, oh dear, it's hard to stop, isn't it? Hard to stop puzzling. But I think I must. I've got another live stream to do tomorrow, and I need to get up at a decent time, so I'm all ready for it. But it is very hard to stop puzzling this puzzle. Like, it's just so Moorish. There we go. That goes in there. So Moorish. I'm just going to need to just put the pieces to one side and stop looking at them. Hang on. That goes up here somewhere. I know it does. We can't get it in. Right, stop, Nick, stop. I'm stopping. Ugh. Here we go. This is what I've achieved today. I've got a top and a bottom edge for the blue portal. There are a few tree pieces I'll have to leave to one side. This is a few boats, the little beach bit, some water, and then I've managed to attach a fish. And I've got the other fish floating just here. And then these are a few leftovers, and they belong in the winter portal. Um, so yeah, that I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. I mean, it was a rush job on the sorting, and I had only really basically divided the blue portal into three. That's about all I've managed to do. So I don't think that's too bad. I think that's really, really good. So it's started anyway, and it will continue next week. Um, right. Mine is taking forever. Your puzzle, is it? Oh, tomorrow I'll start the second bag of Disney Museum that was on hold for Downtown and Six Portals. Yay! Oh, good. Good, good, good. I know it's still on hold for me. I need to finish this, and then I will get back to that puzzle. Press like, everyone. Thank you, Clark. I appreciate you saying that. I always forget to ask people to like, so thank you. Please do like the stream if you enjoyed it. I really hope you did. I've had a blast. And I really hope you enjoyed the wee bits I had to tell you about London. I know I didn't tell you tons of stuff, but I am going to reveal all in my video on it, which I am working on in as many gaps of time as I am able to give it at the moment. Obviously, tomorrow I'm going to be live streaming the wildlife puzzle, and then I'll continue editing it before and after that. I hope you can join me for the live stream on wildlife tomorrow. It'll be at 12:30 UK time, as normal. That's normal for the Monday live. And yeah, it's on its way to being finished, that puzzle. I'm thinking it'll be maybe two more streams, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can get some sorting done on it, some shape sorting. And yeah, we'll try and get that puzzle done as well. And oh yes, you might need to remind me, but I will need to put up a poll of options for Thursday's puzzle because I need a new puzzle to live stream on Thursday because I finished Downtown, the 1000 piece Downtown. I can't believe how fast I finished that. Um, so yes, if I think on, I will get a poll up for that so we can pick which puzzle to do on Thursday as well. But I'm going to be working hard on that video for you, and I'm going to try and get it out as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope you're excited for it. Congratulations, Vicky, for getting so much done given the distractions. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. And yeah, so please do check out the description because in there is a link to my Discord server. If you're not in my Discord server, please do click that invite link and join. It's a brilliant server. It's where all the puzzle along stuff happens. I do post obviously on my channel as well, but you won't see anybody else's pictures on there. It's only what I post. So if you want to join in with puzzle alongs and you really want to get a feel for puzzling along with everybody, that is the place to be. And it's just fun as well. It's a good laugh in there. So check that out. That's a link in the description for that. And yeah, just keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for that video. It is coming. It is coming. It's exciting. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to say goodnight just now. Happy puzzling, and I will be back tomorrow with wildlife. I'll see you then.